Coming up on today's episode of Airborne Unlimited, the FAA mistakenly released a draft report during an NTSB investigation. Mark Van Tine joins EAA Board of Directors. And Sir Richard Branson says the Virgin Galactic mission will continue. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm Ashley Hale. Well, you know you've messed up big when your transgression shows up in a press release, such as the case with an FAA mistake. The NTSB has found that the FAA mistakenly released investigative information regarding their ongoing investigation of an airplane accident that occurred in Philadelphia on March 13th of 2014. This is an error that violated NTSB regulations and party processes. The FAA, which is party to the investigation, mistakenly released preliminary information about the accident under the Freedom of Information Act. The NTSB press release reminded all participating parties that allowing any party to release investigative information without approval may enable that party to influence the public perception of the investigation and undercut the fairness of the process. In the release, the NTSB said it has shared its strong concern about this matter with the FAA. They also shared it with anyone that can read a press release. Mark Van Tine, Chief Executive Officer of Jeppesen and Vice President of Digital Aviation for the Boeing Company, has joined the top leadership of the Experimental Aircraft Association as the newest member of the EAA Board of Directors. Tom Patton reports.
Van Tine will serve a one-year renewable term. EAA's chairman of the board, Jack Pelton, said Mark Van Tine is a longtime EAA member who has a personal commitment to recreational aviation in all its forms, as well as strong aviation industry leadership experience. Van Tine is committed to building personal aviation for future generations. He's been an EAA Young Eagles pilot for nearly a decade and has personal involvement in the Build-A-Plane program that encourages interest in science, technology, math, and engineering for young people. Van Tine owns a Glass Air Sportsman that was built by him and 8 high school students in 2013. He flies his airplane out of his airpark home. For Airborne, I'm Tom Patton.
After the break, Sir Richard Branson signals his commitment to the Virgin Galactic mission.
ADS-B will be mandatory for most aircraft by 2020 in the United States. But you can benefit from ADS-B today with the Bendix King KT-74 Mode S transponder. The KT-74 meets the global mandates for ADS-B out when attached to a suitable WAAS GPS. Finally, the extraordinary story of the world-changing X-Prize space competition is being told and illustrated with hundreds of insider photos in Jim Campbell's colorful new book, Beyond the Blue. Journey with Jim as he flies formation with spaceships, plays in zero gravity, prepares rocket racers, and documents the amazing first decade of the personal space race. Available this summer. Get your advance order in now by checking out www.kindredspirit.com. Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro standby instrument. TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero. Welcome back. Well, if you'd like to be a supporter of Airborne Unlimited, send an email to jim@aero-news.net. A New Year's message from Virgin Galactic Sir Richard Branson indicates that he's bound and determined to stick the private space program out, despite the tragic loss of Mike Alsbury and the serious injuries to Pete Siebold when SpaceShipTwo was destroyed on a test flight. Branson's New Year's message said in part, quote, "For all of us in the Virgin Galactic family, I'm sure 2014 will sadly be defined by that fateful moment on an October Friday, when excitement and eager anticipation turned in an instant to disbelief and shock," end quote. In the message, he admitted that he found himself questioning seriously for the first time whether it was right to be backing the development
of something that could result in such a tragic circumstance. However, he said he received his confirmation to continue from the designers, the builders, the engineers, the pilots, and the whole community who passionately believed that truly opening space and making it accessible and safe is of vital importance to all of our futures. Branson concluded, quote, "And so Virgin Galactic goes on with an unwavering commitment to safety and a renewed sense of purpose," end quote. Aero-TV has produced around 2,000 programs and webcast them to cyberspace. So sometimes it's fun to look back and enjoy the places we've seen, the flyers we've met, and the planes we've flown. Here's a look at one of our favorite Aero-TV classic episodes.
You have a lot of people that are inexperienced in aviation business. So they're in the business of aviation, but they're not in the business of business.
In this video, we learned that the business of buying and selling LSAs needs a tune-up. Jim Campbell talks with aviation business expert Dr. Dave Jewell. Search the buying and selling of LSAs on Aero-TV's news channel. After these messages, a Red Baron Super Stearman has been restored.
Since the early days of powered flight, pilots have struggled with landing in crosswinds. In fact, crosswinds and wind gusts cause more landing accidents than fog, thunderstorms, and icing combined. That's where the Redbird X-Wind SE comes in. By placing pilots in gusty crosswind conditions for extended periods of time, the X-Wind SE gives instructors all the time they need to teach the pilot the proper techniques for landing in crosswind conditions. For more information on Redbird X-Wind SE and Redbird's entire line of flight training devices, visit www.redbirdflightsimulations.com.
AML's patent-pending wireless induction charging system eliminates confusion over those charging cables, cuts down cockpit cable clutter, and allows you and your passengers to fly cordless and eliminate the cable nightmare. www.aviationmodificationleaders.com.
Welcome back. Well, with so much news coming out of the aviation industry, we're summarizing some other interesting stories in a brief segment we call Around the Patch. A Red Baron Pizza Super Stearman flies again. The Lindman brothers of North Valley Aircraft in Valley City, North Dakota, have restored one of the squadron's Super Stearmans in its airshow livery. The roar has returned. Spaceflight is still a tricky venture. The SpaceX Falcon 9 launch, set for yesterday morning, aborted with 1 minute 27 seconds to liftoff. A thrust vector control actuator failed to perform as expected. The countdown starts again on Friday. The Alabama Department of Transportation has replaced a 26-year-old Cessna Citation II jet with a new CJ4. It's reported that maintenance and reliability issues with the older plane make this lease a good deal at $57,000 per month. The Navy Blue Angels have arrived at their winter training base in El Centro, California. They'll spend 3 months honing their skills and preparation for the upcoming airshow season. They say it's an ideal location because of no rains or clouds. Well, that's it for today's trip around the patch, so let's move on to the rest of the news. John Dorsey of Oshkosh, Wisconsin, took the helm of the Society of Aviation and Flight Educators, known as SAFE, on Monday as interim executive director, succeeding Doug Stewart, who announced his retirement in November. Dorsey will serve until a new executive director is selected. SAFE Board of Directors Chair Donna Wilt said, quote, "We're so appreciative of John's willingness to lead SAFE as it starts a new year with a growing membership, new initiatives, and new programs. His experience will continue to serve our members well," end quote. Dorsey has been involved with SAFE since the organization was founded in 2009, serving as a board member from 2009 to 2013, and was vice chair in 2012 and chair in 2013. We at ANN wish John well as he takes the helm of this important organization. Well, that's our program for Wednesday, January 7th. Remember to get comprehensive real-time 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories anytime at aero-news.net. Remember, Airborne Unlimited is now streamed daily, Monday through Friday. And sometimes we'll have additional breaking news bulletins for important stories that fall outside our normal deadlines. Please join us in a growing roster of over 100 outstanding industry associations and organizations every weekday for the best in aviation and aerospace news. I'm Ashley Hale. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.